How you doing, everyone? Welcome back to a bigger game this week. We've got 20,000 up for grabs in the Sharks versus Sea Eagles Thursday night game. And yeah, plenty to talk about in this one. And obviously a bunch of really good outside backs in the Sharks and very different to what you see on the Manly side of the ball. So, Jesse Ramien's been killing it up top there at 18,290. But I think the couple of guys with the most value clearly is T&Cs for Talakai at 15,900, averaging an incredible 54, and his form for the last few years is 71.6 there. So if you can get anywhere close to that, he's a must-have in anyone's side. Also, Ronaldo Mulatalo has been averaging incredibly in his recent form at 61.6 as well. So both those guys, great options this week. I'd personally going to be picking them in my side. You could go the Ramien as well if you think he could go well on that right side, which he will. It's just depending if you can fit the extra cash in amongst it all. Anyone else in here I'm not too excited about. Like we've got Will Kennedy at 10,600, but how well has he been going? You can see here only 36.8 is his highest score, so I think you're missing out if you're going for him. And Shioni Katoa has obviously been scoring really well, so you could pick him as well as a change-up option if you didn't want to go for Talakai and you want to spend a little bit less on Shioni and also Mulatalo. So there are a couple of options there for the outside backs in this game. We move to the halves. I just feel like there's only the two options, and you will probably only definitely be able to only pick one, and that's either Nicho Hynes at 25,420 or Daly Cherry Evans at 25,170. Both averaging pretty much the same at 67.3 and 68. So it's just dependent on which one you think might be able to get a couple extra attacking stats and might be able to get into that 70, 80, 90 range rather than getting around that 55 to 70 in kind of their base stats and standard points there. So whichever team you think would be able to win this one is probably the way I'd go, because the price doesn't really matter too much. The extra $250 isn't going to help you too much. Anyone else in here, I suppose, if you have to go cheap in the flex, for example, Matt Moylan could be someone that you could spend a little bit of the 9,000 on and could potentially get a 30 or a 40 odd there. He's at a couple of those games this year in amongst a real low one, so you'd be killing yourself if he gets a low one like that. And then Dylan Walker, someone you could go at a little bit of a cheaper price point if you wanted to on the flex as well. I probably wouldn't pick one of them in here. Lockie Croker and Blake Brayley have scored okay also, but yeah, I'd be going up top with those guys. In terms of the forwards, if you want to spend up a little bit bigger, then Ola Kawatu has been someone who's been spectacular over the last couple of weeks, a 67 and a 78.2 to go along with a 74 in that round 2 game. So he definitely has that upside, and if he performs anywhere near how he's done the last couple of games, then he's going to be pretty close to a must-have as well. But I'm personally going to go a little bit lighter here. I spoke about playing Rudolph in my team last week, and that worked out okay. But I think Cam McInnes here is getting that starting lock roll finally, and I think he can score more than the 45.4 that he got last week and the 44 the week before, coming off the bench and playing more of an edge role in that 1-2 weeks ago, and the 80 minutes on the edge last game. So he's more of a middle. He's obviously a hooker that plays 13 now as well. And he's going to get that bigger minute role this week. So I think he's pretty close to a must-have. I think Paseka's been doing amazingly well, and I keep picking him in all my teams the last few weeks, and I can see him scoring somewhere close to that 40 again and being a nice mainstay, cheaper kind of player in your team. To go a little bit cheaper, you got Sipley, who's starting, but unfortunately he just doesn't get the minutes that you need from him at 24.9 points and 18.6 to really produce for you. But there's some interesting guys there down the bottom. Royce Hunt at 9K. So he comes back into the side after a few weeks off, and he has that opportunity to play some slightly bigger minutes potentially this week. Do they give it to Royce Hunt or do they give it to Fafita? You can see Fafita's had that kind of very similar minutes and points production across the first 6 games. So will that stay the same? Do you bank on Royce Hunt maybe scoring a little bit better? That's probably the call, because I think you're going to need one of those two guys at 9K to be able to get the Nicho Hynes DCE and spend some money on the Talakais, Ramiens, and these types of guys in the outside back. So that's probably my general thoughts on this Draftstars Thursday night game. But really cool to see they put 20 grand up for grabs, and I can see a lot more entries going in this one. I wish you all good luck, and I'll see you in the next video.